Turning it to the Angels, I can't see, they're 10 games out of the second spot. I don't think I would.
Well, I could see them. I guess there's only two guys that I actually could see him sell, which would be Maldonado and maybe Justin Upton, right? But what are you actually going to get for them, right? Are you going to get something to kind of look for the future that could help you, that maybe goes down to the minor leagues and kind of works his way up, and it's something that helps us in the future? But I could see Maldonado coming in as he's a great catcher, and he hits okay for a catcher, but he handles the staff really, really well. But again, the other two guys that you would think about who everybody's interested in is our lefties in Skaggs and Haney, and you just sat them for a whole year or year and a half to go through Tommy John, and now all of a sudden you're going to get rid of them. You can't do that, right?
No,
so
no.
I think you just bite your lower lip. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if Socha is going to be there next year. I really don't think. But there's times where I see him kind of micromanaging and kind of making bad decisions. You can totally tell the analytics are getting involved here, where you took a pitcher out last night that only threw 69 pitches to what? Go to a depleted, a depleted
69
bullpen.
pitches, I mean.
That is, second in the league with most blown saves, and
Right.
and I just sometimes I don't understand the coaching philosophies, but you could totally tell that if you look at Bahia, I always say his name, Bahia's statistics is they don't let him see the lineup 3 times. I watched him against the Astros one day where he had 79 pitches, and they bring in Alvarez, and Alvarez walks the bases loaded. Altuve hits a 3-run 3-1.
Yeah.
Right, and he does that because the statistics show that he's not good the third time around. Well, he's at 79 pitches, right? The next game he lets Skaggs go like 112.
Right.
Right, and so I'm just
right.
I don't understand some of the coaching decisions, and I know that Mike, they say, hey, look, this is what we think, and obviously he makes the final decision on all that stuff, and
I think you've hit on the point, and that is that if you've got an analytical front office, and your manager is a little bit more old school, like a Socha, who's not ready to embrace that, then there's going to be disconnects.
Well,
there's going to be those times when you have a guy who's getting pulled because the analytics say pull him because you don't want him to see the batting order a third time, and then like another guy who's going to throw 110 pitches.
That's what led to DePoto's. DePoto was sending down, all the information, everything that they needed, and Socha was poo-pooing and not using it the way he should. That's why Socha won that power struggle.
Yeah,
but
so I see them not even battling for third place here with the A's. Again, what is it? I think the statistics were 22 plus guys that were on the DL. I think they have 11 at time right now as we speak, and the average of the players that are on the DL are 30-something days. So obviously, it's just a mash unit there. It's been like that for the last 3 years,
right? Exactly.
And it's not getting any better. And I just think it's a hit the refresh button. But again, I guess I'm going to throw this out to you guys. Do you trade Trout? Do you try to go get your 4 or 5 top prospects? I don't know where he's going to go, right? Is he going to go to the Phillies, Is he going to go to the Yankees, Boston? I don't know. I know he wants to go win somewhere. And you know what? He deserves to go play for somebody that wins. But I'll tell you right now, I would hate to have this go south and you don't get what you're supposed to get out of it. And I mean, it better be 4 legitimate or 5 legitimate ball players.
See, to me, that's the point. Do you, as Angel fans, want this front office making that decision? I say no.
Yeah. That's the problem too. Is that when Trout's contract comes up after 2020, that's when Ohtani's going to be kicking in for the big Bucks, they may not be able to sign those two guys anyway.
Right, and so then you look at it, right? You're going, okay, because next year, a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna go look right at Trout's agent and go, or the Trout's agent's gonna go, my guy deserves that or more.
Exactly.
Right. So, I guess the whole deal is, we owe Pujols $90 million in the next 3 years, right?
Right.
And then you got Ohtani that's going to come on board. I mean, the network television deals are really good, so they're going to have money to spend. But again, you can spend all the money you want when it comes to putting a Trout in center field and Ohtani. Hopefully, he can keep doing this pitching hitting thing, but you still have to win.
Yeah.
It's just you have made some of the worst decisions with Vernon Wells and Hamilton,
Gary Matthews Jr.
and now this Pujols thing. All the stuff that he was great for the first fight. He's horrendous right now. Like I was talking to Vince about it. There's no one to sell. Like really, there is nobody on this team who is attractive to go get. And just throw Mike Trout out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike Trout is out, and your two lefties are out. You've got nobody. Kinsler's not showing you the numbers.
No, he's been terrible.
Simmons, I think you got to keep, right? His numbers are horrendous.
He's
I had
barely over 300, I think.
He hit 357 in April. He hit 277 in June, or in May, or in June, sorry. And right now in July, he's 16 for 60, hitting 229. And he's 0 for 5 last night. And he's 2 for 7 his last 17. I mean, it just goes on. Kinsler's hitting 167 with runners in scoring position. So Mike Trout doesn't even have anybody to drive in, and then nobody's driving him in. So it's and you can kind of. Like there's no energy in that team to like really.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one that really shows it sometimes is Calhoun. But what's he hitting?
You come off a 14-5 win over Houston on Sunday, and you got the woeful White Sox who were 30 games under 500, 35 and 65 for 4 games, and then you got Seattle coming in. So now you think, well, let's sweep Chicago. We've got to beat Seattle 3 times. We've got to beat Seattle every time we play them now in order to have any chance to get to the wild card. And what did they do last night? They lay an egg.
Right, and there he is. He pulls Bahia out with 68 pitches. He walked a couple guys, okay? And then what do they bring in? They bring in this guy, just walks 2 guys, hits a guy in the head. I mean, it's just it's actually frustrating to watch.
What would you do with what do you do with Garrett Richards at this point? Are you going to re-sign him to?
Nope. Not going to give you what you think you're going to get because you decide to spin your blood, and then you decide, oh, I should have got Tommy John after all that stuff. So now you're not going to get him for a year or year and a half, right?
2020.
So you know what?
In order to accommodate guys like that, like the Dodgers, who collect Tommy John surgeries in their minor leagues and on their major league roster, you have to have a deep, farm system so that you can hide guys and hold them and rehabilitate them, because there's 2 advantages to that. You can be patient with your depth and let them come back, and then you have them at a bargain. Or if somebody wants to take a flyer on them and trade for him, then you can say, well, he's already had Tommy John surgery. I don't care. See, that's why I think if the Angels don't have the farm system to be patient with guys who have had Tommy John surgery, you either need to them, because if somebody wants to take them off your hands, sell high.
You'd have to, if you sign Richards, you got to just give him minimum contract with all kinds of incentives. This number of innings, this number of games.
You prove it to me.
Yeah. You can't give him any kind of a.
Well, after free agency last year, where it seemed like collusion a little bit, like everybody's saying, I'm not going to sign big contracts.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. We saw that with Hosmer. Sort of being delayed. But the asking price was very high. But teams with the analytics now are really assessing value a lot differently. They're paying different prices, and at some point, what is a Garrett Richards really worth?
Right.
He hasn't pitched in 3 years.
You have to throw out what maybe the market said he was a pitcher. Like the Dodgers have proven and are showing by the types of numbers that they're putting up that you can just get guys to fill in, and you can pay them these lower wages. They've made some big acquisitions. I mean, the Rich Hill, nobody, but he's still throwing. He's eating, he's throwing a lot of innings. He's been really solid. He's not my ideal number 2 guy. He's 38 years old, but he's working for you. He's working. He's wily.
Yeah.
So, and then a guy like Stripling comes up, and they might put him back in the bullpen. They might. But he's been terrific, just like Wood was last year.
Except at the All-Star game.
Yeah,
exactly.
So for the Angels, I personally don't want to see them do anything with this front office. Right people in place, and then if they decide to get rid of Trout and build, it can't just be prospects. It can't just be prospects. It has to be some sort of blend of somebody who can help you now on the pitching staff, and guys that may help you out in a few years.